This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We should know what is a data warehouse, right? So, what is OLTP? What is data warehouse? And what is the need for the data warehouse? What is the need for SSAS? All these things we discussed yesterday, right? Already we discussed, right? Now, let me go to Paint. So all the data we are going to be getting from OLTP. OLTP means data sources, right? You may have Excel, you may have a flat file, you may have a SQL server. All the data is going to come where? With the help of ETL staging to the data warehousing. So you have a data warehouse. So this is your data warehouse, bigger database. Okay. So for example, we are talking about Amazon company. So this is what is called Amazon OLTP database, and this is what is called Amazon data warehousing database. So data warehouse is also one more large database. OLTP also will have a database, but OLTP will have less data and a small amount of data and normalized data. So data warehouse means a large database. So you have to have Oracle or SQL Server, Teradata. So these kind of machines are there. Clear? So where you create a data warehousing database. I had created a database called Amazon Data Warehousing. So Amazon is a OLTP database. So this will be available in one machine, one computer. So since it's a training, I'm not able to keep in separate machine. So this will be in one computer. Clear? So this will be in one computer. You have a staging database and data warehousing database. These two will be in one more computer in the real time. Clear? So this is computer number one, or you can say server number one. This is server number two. So this is OLTP server, and this is what is called data warehousing server, or people will say this is what is called OLAP server. In OLAP server, what all we have? We have staging also, staging databases, and this is staging, Amazon staging. Staging means a temporary database where you clean the data. Clear? So Amazon data will come to staging. From staging, it will go to data warehouse. Clear? So you will have two machines. One machine is called a server one, OLTP server one. One more machine is called a server two. In the server two, you will create two databases. One is called a staging database. One is called data warehousing databases. So real time, you need to understand like that. So OLTP database and OLAP database. Clear? So that is what you need to understand always. So how many servers you will have in the real time? Two servers. One is called OLTP server, and from OLTP server, all the data will go to where? OLAP server. So this is what is called OLAP server. So in this you have a database called Amazon database. Clear? So when you buy a product, so you are connected to this server only. For example, you are the end user. So my mother is buying a product. My mother is going to be placing the order today for a product called mobile phone, or she would like to buy some vegetables or something from the Amazon.com. My mother laptop or mobile phone connected to this, the fresh data is going to come. So all the data we are going to be taking with the help of ETL. So initially, all the data is going to go to where? A staging database. We create one more database called Amazon staging. Okay. So we create one more database, large database is called Amazon data warehousing database. So all the data will come first here, and from here the data is going to go there. So again, we're going to be performing all the operations. So this is OLAP or data warehousing server. So in this server only we have staging. In this server only we have a two databases. Clear? So maximum you will be having two machines. One machine is OLTP server where the end users are connected, and who's going to be connected to this machine? Business users. They wanted to analyze the data. Managers, business users, right? So these people are connected to this server. So in this machine only, we also create a cube. We also create a cube. So cube will be connected to what? To the data warehousing and gets the data. Clear? And that is how you need to understand. So we'll have a data warehousing server, OLAP server, where you have a staging database, where you have a data warehousing database. And in this machine only, many times we also install SSAS, we create a cube. Okay. To create a cube, what you need to have? You need to have a data warehousing database. Clear? So that is what is the need. If you would like to create a cube means what is that we should have? Data warehousing database. That is what I'm trying to tell you. So this is what data warehousing database. Now I connect. Okay, I connect here and I create one what is called SSAS application. So this is what is called SSAS, where I create a cube. What cube we're going to be creating now? Multi-dimensional cube. Okay. So I told you SSAS has a two types of cubes. One is called a tabular model cube. The second one is called multi-dimensional cubes. Clear? So today we're going to connect to what? Amazon data warehouse and we create a cube. So you people will not have this data warehouse. Clear? So I'll be giving this database. So this database has these many tables. Don't worry about what are these tables. These are called dimension tables and fact tables. So what is a dimension? What is a fact? I already discussed in the data warehousing class. Again, I will take the class. Don't worry about it. Okay. So as of now, you don't worry. It is having some data. Okay, it is having some data. So I have some customer data here. Okay, so I can show you the data. I have some customer data. This database I'll give you. You can restore it in your SQL Server. I'll show you how to restore it. Now the second one is a dim location table. I have some tables, nothing else. You assume that database will have some table. Tables will have some data. I have countries of India and America, states and city. Everything is available here. So nothing to worry. Now I have one more table called dim product. What are the products we have it? Clear? So these are very simple tables. Amazon is selling a lot of products in lot of locations. All the locations and everything is available here. So what are the products they're selling that is available here? It is OLAP database, data warehousing database. Clear? Now we have a dim time, a separate table. Why dim time is important? All these things we discussed in the data warehousing classes. So people who did not attend that, so don't worry about. We will again discuss data warehousing in a very soon. Don't worry about it. Okay, I have a fact sales table. Clear? So what you should know, data warehouse is a large database. As a layman, I'm telling you, if somebody says what is a data warehousing, you can tell them that data warehouse is going to be having what? Lot of tables, and data warehousing is a large database. Clear? Large means how much large? It is going to be having terabytes of data. Terabytes means how much size? 5 terabytes, 10 terabytes, blah blah blah. Clear? Plus it's going to be having two types of tables. One is called dimensional table, the second one is called fact table. Dimension customer, dimension location, dimension product, dimension time, and the fact tables. So any data warehouse will have two types of tables. One is called dimension tables, okay, and dim tables. The other one is called fact tables. Clear? So fact table means where you have numerical values. Clear? If you have a numbered data, that is what is called a fact. For example, when I execute, I will see a lot of numbered data, numerical data here, right? So wherever you have a numerical data, that is what is called a fact. It is also called as a measure. Clear? So what is the fact? What is the measure? Measure means numerical data. Numerical data is called as a fact data. Clear? So that is what you need to understand. What is the dimensional data? Dimensional data, it is what is called as a string data. String data means what? Character data or varchar data. Character data. Char data. For example, my name is Bhaskar Jogi. It is a dimensional data, which is a name is character data, right? I am earning 10,000 rupees per month. So 10,000 rupees is a fact or it is a measure because it is a numerical data. Clear? My date of birth is, it is a string data because date of birth is, it is going to be having like this, right? So you can say 2nd February 2020. So it is a character data. So this is also dimensional data. So dim timetable. Clear? You have a month name, February, day name, Wednesday, all these are, and you may have like this. So 2 1 like this. So numerical data will not have this kind of a slices and everything, right? It is called as a string data, character data only. Clear? So any data which is there in the character format is a dimensional data, and data in numerical format is called as a fact data. But not all numbers are facts. For example, a room number. Room number is not a fact, even though it is a number. Why? Because we don't perform any aggregations. Aggregation means what? Summing means totals. I cannot say my room number 21, your room number is 20. 20 plus 21, 41. Can we do any plus minus operations on the room numbers? You don't do it, right? So if you don't do any plus operations, minus operations on the numerical data, that data again called as a string data or a dimensional data. Remember, for example, phone number. Phone number is a number, but all numbers are not facts. Remember this. Clear? So what is a measure? What is a fact? Fact means a numbered data. But remember, all numbers are not facts or measures. For example, room number, mobile phone number, pin code number, my lucky number, my vehicle number, right? So all these numbers are not the measures or the facts where you can perform arithmetical operations, plus, minus, average, all these things. For example, sales amount, tax amount paid, rental amount paid, salary, income, profit. So quantity sold, all these are called as a measures or the facts. Clear? But room number, mobile number, employee number, customer number, phone number, lucky number, all these are numerical data, but these are not facts. Clear? So facts means it is a numbered data on which you should be able to perform plus minus operations, arithmetical operations on the data. Clear? So you have two types of data in the data warehousing. One is what is called character data, dimensional data. The second data is called as a numerical data or called as a fact data, measure data. Measure means numerical, but remember all, all measures or all numbers are not measures. The best example is employee number. My employee number is 1234 and your employee number is 3247. So do we do any plus minus operations on the employee number? No. Clear? So that is a character data. Even that is a number, we will be declaring that as a character data. We'll be calling employee number as a what? It is a completely a dimensional data. Clear? So if you know these 2 points, what is a data warehouse? Data warehouse is a large database where you can store historical data. Okay. And where you have dimensional data and fact data, you will have less dimension, less fact tables. You will have more and more uh, dimension tables, and the dimension tables will have a primary keys, and these primary keys will be part of foreign keys here. Okay, factor tables will have what? Foreign keys. So that is also you should know. For example, there is a customer table. Who's the customer? Customer is one, so customer is to John Kennedy. When you go to sales table, you should be able to find out what is the customer ID. Customer ID is 10. So this is a foreign key. Clear? Customer key, customer ID, product key. Product key will be a primary key in the dimension table. This is a primary key. Location key is a primary key, but the same location key is here a foreign key. Clear? So the factor tables will have numerical data, plus you will have a foreign keys, and this will have character data. You will have a primary keys. That's what you need to understand. That's it. If you know these 2 points, then at least the basics of data warehousing you know. Okay. So data warehouse will have large amount of data. Now we're going to be creating what? Cube. So I would like to create my first cube. So what are the things we're going to be learning? Create SSAS project. Step number 1, create a data source, create a data source view, build dimensions, build cube calculations using MDX, deploy cube to SSAS server. So this will take a minimum of 1 or 2 weeks to complete. Clear? These are the basic topics. So these are the advanced topics we are also going to cover: partitions, aggregations, translations, perspectives, actions, security, cube deployment. Clear? So these are the things that we're going to discuss next 2 weeks. Okay. And so OLTP data will go to staging. From staging, we're going to be having data warehousing. Data warehousing, is going to be connected to the cube. So cube is getting the data. So data warehouse will have detailed data. Clear? So cube is going to be having aggregated data, or some totals will have. Clear? So that is what we're going to be having. So how to create a project first? So I would like to create a cube, right? That is what I'm talking about. Create a first cube means, now the step number one, create a project. How to create a project? Go to start. You can say dev env. So this is MSBI software I have installed already. People who are new, they must install MSBI software. What software they need to install? SQL Server 2019. Clear? When you install, you will get SQL Server SSMS. Then you will be able to get dev environment. Okay. So you will be able to get one more, SSDT. SSDT means this is what is called MSBI software. SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. So there are two softwares will be installed. SSMS for what? It is for SQL Server software. It is RDBMS or SQL software. Clear? So you must install SQL Server 2019 version. To install it, you need to have Windows 10 in your computer, minimum 2 GB of RAM, any processor you can have. You can have a minimum 100 GB of space in the hard disk. So my team will give you the software. You ask them. You know my team number, right? Just call them. If you don't know, you just make a note of this number. So this number, right? So 9642143942. All these are WhatsApp number. You need software, or if you need any other help means, you can reach out the middle number or the bottom number. Clear? So they will give you the software. They will help you to install the software in your laptop either today or tomorrow. You try to install the software. You need to have Windows 10 in your laptop. Clear? So that is what I'm going to be using now. So what software we are going to be using is this. SSMS will get installed SQL and MSBI SSDT to connect to the SSDT. So how to open SSDT? SSDT means SQL Server Data Tools. Okay. So to open this, go to start and say dev env. Okay. I will go to start, say development environment. Okay. So when you click on development environment, you will be able to see Visual Studio 27 in the bracket SSDT. Clear? You need to choose and click on it. So I'm able to get what? Visual Studio 2017 in the bracket. It is telling me SSDT, and click on this. So that's what. Okay. In this, what all we can do? We can create SSIS project, SSAS, and SSRS project. What is SS? SS stands for SQL Server Integration Services, SQL Server Analysis Services. Clear? So this is what is my SSDT software to create MSBI. Clear? Now this is how it is looks like. So now then what you do? You go to File, New Project. The next step is what? You can go File, New Project. Okay. So File, New Project. Let me close and go to again File, New Project. So when you click on this, now you will be able to find out analysis services. Clear? When you open analysis services, you can see multi-dimensional and tabular. Clear? So tabular is added. We can create two types of cubes. We can create actually two types of cubes here, right? But what cubes I'm going to be creating now? I'm going to be creating a project with what? Multi-dimensional. Project with what? Multi-dimensional. Remember this. Not the tabular cube. Tabular cube is going to be used as part of the Power BI. So we are not going to be discussing tabular cube. No, we are going to be using create a project with what? Multi-dimensional. So we have two types of cubes can be created. That is what is very, very important, guys. So many people understand multi-dimensional and tabular. So tabular model cube we can have as part of our Power BI classes. Clear? So as of MSBI, I'm not going to be touching tabular. So tabular is a small cube and where you can do the aggregations. Simple thing I can understand. You need to aggregate the data, right? A simple example I had given the other day. So what are the differences? So when you have a small amount of data, then when you have data to be loaded onto the RAM, so that is where we can use tabular model cubes, right? So I gave simple example to uh, show you this. So we have a mixer and grinder, right? So we have two things. So this is what is called a grinder. This is what is called a mixer, right? So what is the difference between these two? So this is a small thing where you can, do some kind of a processing, right? But when you have a large amount of data, we are going to be using this, right? So this is what is called your multi-dimensional cube. Okay. And this is what is called your tabular model cube. Both of them are going to be processing the food. Clear? So multi-dimensional cube is where you have large amount of data and all the data after grinding is done, you have to transfer the item from this ball to one more ball. So here we're going to be keeping all the items to the disk. All the aggregated data will be available in the disk. Disk means hard disk. So after grinding, after processing, all the data is going to go to the RAM. Clear? So RAM is not limited, right? RAM is 4 GB. It is limited, but the hard disk means unlimited. You can have unlimited data, and it is a disk means slow because you need to go to the hard disk and get the data. So multi-dimension is going to be having large amount of data and all that aggregated data. What do you mean by aggregation? Aggregation means summing some have. For example, I have 10 and 20. What is total? 10 and 20 equals to 30. So 30 is, if you have little numbers, the 30 is going to be keeping in the RAM. It is going to be keeping in the hard disk. What is 30? 30 is a aggregation data. Clear? What is the raw data? Raw data we are going to be having in the data warehousing. So what is the processing? Processing is called aggregating something, right? Summing, minus, average, all these are aggregations. When you have small amount of data, which is going to be aggregating the data and keeping in the RAM, right? So it is going to keep the aggregated data in the hard disk. That's it, nothing else. Clear? So this is very, very faster. When you have a small amount of tables and everything, we're going to be using this kind of a model. When you have large amount of data, then we're going to be using multi-dimensional cube. And this is introduced in SSAS 2012. Okay, so when tabular model is created 2012 and multi-dimensional model is there since ever the MSBA started in MSBA started when 2005. Clear? Multi-dimensional model is the old one, but the later in 2012 of SSAS, Microsoft is released one more component, that is tabular model. So when you have a large amount of data and after aggregations you would like to store the data in the RAM, and when you have a limited data then go in for tabular model, else you can go in for multi-dimensional model. So any cube can give the data. So Power BI Power BI or MSBI or SSIS, they can get the data from here. They can also get the data from here or SSRS. So any reporting tool, Tableau, right? All the reporting tool can get the data from here, can get the data from here. That doesn't matter. But we are learning, tabular model whenever we have Power BI classes. Does not mean that Power BI will use only the tabular model. Power BI also can get the data from multi-dimension. But Microsoft is created so Power BI tabular model for for the less amount of data. Less amount of data normally we use in Power BI, right? We don't use a bigger data warehousing when you have small amount of data. For example, I have 50 GB of data. Why you need to create a bigger, data warehouse applications? So you give 50 GB of data to Power BI. Power BI can do each and everything. It can perform ETL operations. It can store the data. You can perform a small tabular cube you can create, and you can also do a lot of analytics on the data. Small amount of data, then Power BI single tool along with the tabular model cube. Power BI SSRS can be used with the help of this one, guys. Clear? So that's what you need to understand in brief. Now we are going to be creating a multi-dimensional model. So tabular model will be very easy. Even multi-dimensional model also very easy. You choose this and analysis services, multi-dimensional model and data mining model. You need to click on this and give the project name. You can say that it is SSAS, say Amazon DW project, or you can say Amazon sales project and underscore. So what is the date today? It is a June 9th batch. I'm giving some date. That's it, nothing else. Okay. So this is the project name SSAS Amazon sales data sales cube. I'm going to be creating June 9th, 2021 batch. And where you wanted to store this project, let me browse. Let me browse. And I wanted to store somewhere D drive. I can go anywhere, C drive, D drive, some locations. Okay. This is the path I'm using. I wanted to store it here. So this is the path you can use anyway, doesn't matter. I have changed this path. Click on OK. So choose multi-dimensional model, analysis services, click on OK. If you don't have this, you need to ask my team to install it. We will give you one-time install support, software installation support, not multiple times. Okay. If this is not working second time, so definitely you need to get it done elsewhere. But one time we are going to be installing this software here. Clear? So it will take 1 hour to install it. So hope you're able to understand. Clear? How to create a project is as simple as this. So we have created a project. Now you will get a blank screen when you go to Solution Explorer here. When you go to Solution Explorer here, you will have lot of things. What are they? Data sources, data source view, cube, dimensions, and data mining. Data mining is data science actually. Okay. So we are not going to touch data mining or data science here. So we are going to be creating only data source view. We are going to be creating a cubes. Dimensions means we discussed about dimensions and facts, right? So all the dimensions will get loaded into this. So facts will get loaded elsewhere. So now once it is done, once the project is created, so the next step is what we need to do. So create SSAS with multi-dimensional project done. What is the next step? Create a data source. What is the data source? Data source is a this database, right? So where is this available? That you need to connect. So this is my project created. Now step number one, I am going to be creating a data source. So data source I'm creating. So this is the project I have created. Okay, multi-dimensional project. I have given the name. What is the name? SSAS underscore and Amazon sales underscore some I have given date and batch blah blah blah. Okay. So this is the project name. So when I go to the project name, the step number one, data source. Now this is the data source. Now right click on this new data source. It's very easy. Welcome to the new data source wizard. Click next. So create a data source based on the existing or new connection. Choose this. Don't choose the first one. Choose the second one. Okay. Click on new. Now, what is my server name? Where is my data warehousing available? Data warehousing is available in this. Clear? I will give you this database, guys. You can, attach it. Okay. How to attach it? It's very, very simple. So I will give you a backup file. So let me show you a backup file looks like this. Okay. I'll give you Amazon dw.backup file. I'll be sending today. You can need to download and keep this file somewhere. For example, I wanted to copy and keep the files in my downloads folder. So you will be able to download and your file is here. Okay. Your file is available here. Now what you do, you go to SQL Server. This is your SQL Server, right? Now you need to right click on databases. You can say restore the database. Restore the database. It will open up with one more window. You need to choose a device. Okay, you need to choose device. Now you need to go to wherever, and you need to go to add. So wherever that is there, so it is part of where download. Where is download? Download. Let me remove it, and I don't want to place in download. Let me go to C drive. Inside C drive, I have India folder. Let me place it here. So create one folder and place it here. That will be best for you. Okay. So it is available C drive India. Now I simply go. Now go to C drive. Now there is India. You should be able to find out this. Click on OK. Click on, select this. Click OK. Click OK. And you will be able to select this. Okay. And check this and click on OK. That's it. Okay. So I'm not going to be writing because I have already this database. Clear? Let me tell you how to restore it once again. Right click on the databases, restore database, choose device, click on click on add, you go up, click on C drive, click on C drive. You can also collapse if you want to click on C drive and you will be able to get India. Double click on this. You choose this, click on OK, click on OK. Make sure this is checked. Okay. Click on OK. If you get any kind of an issue when you click on OK, what you do, you go to options, you say overwrite existing database. You choose this option. Okay. You can just come back. You can just come back and make sure that it is checked. If you get any kind of an error, what you do, you go to options, you check overwrite existing database. General. So you make sure this is there. Click on OK. That's it. You will be able to get all the tables now with the data and everything will come. So you can say use Amazon, right? You will be able to see the data. Ensure all the tables are having data. If you don't have data, then there is a problem. Clear? I will give you this database, to you. You should be able to restore it. Am I clear, guys? So that's what. Let me go back. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a data source. Right click on this, new data source, click next, create data source using this connection, click new, server name. What is the server name? You can need to give dot. Dot means local SQL server. If you don't know your server name, go to SQL server. So how to get your server name? You need to write select at the rate server name. So this is the a command that you need to write. If you wanted to get your server name, and you can also type this command, and you should not give space, then it is not going to work, right? Double at the rate symbols. You copy the server name. In the real time, you need to check with your management, right? So you go and you give dot. If dot does not work, you give the server name here and which database you would like to connect to. Data warehousing database. Clear? So Amazon data warehousing database. Test connection succeeded. Now, okay. Now finish. That's it. Nothing else. Click on finish or click on next. So click on next. Now it is giving you use specific Windows username and account. So don't use Windows username and account as of now. You choose the service account. What is the service account? We'll discuss later. Choose this account as of now. Click on next. And this is a data source, Amazon DW. Clear? DS means data source, Amazon DW. Click finish. So we have created a source. So if you wanted to modify tomorrow, you can go double click on this. Now I wanted to change server name. Click on edit button. You should be able to change the server name, change the database name. Again, you can modify it. Clear? If you want to go to security, so I was using service account, right? So this is part of impersonation. Done. So once it is done, the next step is what? We are connected to data warehouse database. Now create a data source view. That is step number 3. Create a project. Now create a project, create a data source, create a data source view. Now I go here, right click on this data source view. I'm going to be creating. You will get a wizard like this. Click next. So it is telling me, you give me the source connection. This is my connection. Click next. Now it is telling me, these are the tables you have. What tables you would like to use it? You would like to use all tables, only few tables. Minimum one fact table, minimum one dimension table you need to have to create a cube. So I know this is my fact table. Okay. Now fact table is linked to all the dimension tables. So you get fact table first. Now what you do, you select this add related tables. So this is linked to all these tables. So these are the tables we have it. Clear? So in the real time, the customer will tell you or your team lead will tell you what tables need to be used in the document. Otherwise, you don't know what table I need to use it because you need to check with the company. You cannot understand, you cannot decide on your own. You need to tell clearly which tables I need to use. If you don't know, at least you should know what is the fact table I should use it. You have a lot of fact tables, not only one fact table. So you get the fact table and you will be able to get the list of tables. But if you know, so if you want to remove this, you can simply remove this. If you don't want to, if you remove all of them at one shot, you can remove like that. If you wanted to place one by one, you can also place this table I need, this table I need, this table I need, this table I need, this table I need. I don't know whether I need these tables or not. Just leave it as of now. If you want to remove everything, you can remove. The better thing always you choose the fact table first, then choose the fact table, add related tables. Clear? So you have fact and dimension tables you have taken from the data source. Now you will be able to click next. Now this is what is called data source view. Okay, data source view. What is the need for the data source view? It is very, very simple. So data source, after that we have created a data source view. Okay, you can create multiple data source views actually. So what is the advantage of a data source view? For example, I create a data source view 1. I can create a data source view 2. Why we can create multiple data sources? So for example, data warehouse is having 1,000 dimension tables and some 100 fact tables. I have 1,000 dimension tables here. Let us say I have some 40 fact tables are available. But what I don't need all tables and create a cube. I would like to create only the sales table. For example, I need a customer table, I need a product table, I need some, data table, and I need a fact sales table. So I am not taking all the data. So what I'm taking, I'm taking a three-dimension tables and one fact table and create a filter on, create a cube on it. So I can filter the tables here. So I should be able to connect. If you don't have a DSV, everything is exposed. I'll give you a simple example. You go to a party, a function. There is a big buffet is going on. Buffet means you have thousands of food items are available. You have continental, you have Indian food, Chinese food, Singapore food, Thai food. Lot of food is available. Where so the food is nothing but your data warehouse. Data warehouse is going to be having all information. You will have sales data, historical sales data, HR data, employee data, branding data, this data, that data, everything you have it. But will you create all the data and create single cube? You don't do that. Why? Because sales manager wanted to see the sales data. HR manager wanted to see the HR data, right? Branding manager wanted to see the brand data. So, but data warehousing is a hub of the company. All the company's data will come. What is the data you will have? You may have HR tables, you may have sales tables, you may have purchase tables, you may have inventory tables, you have a lot of data, right? For example, I have buffet. Buffet means I have continental food, Indian food, Chinese food, Thai food, American food, African food, all the food is available. But what we do, we take a plate. So this is what is your plate. So this is my plate. I will take my plate. So what I will take, I am Indian. I am taking only Indian dishes. Okay, Indian dishes I'm going to be taking. So what I'm doing, I am filtering the tables. Okay, so I'm filtering the tables. I don't need all the buffet items. Thousands of items are available. Will I take all items in my plate? No, 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 no. I will take my food, whatever I needed. So I'm filtering the tables. I'm filtering. So I may take one, roti. I may take bread, or I may take one sauce soup, something like that. So if I wanted to filter, I will be able to filter with the help of my plate, right? So then what I do, I wanted to customize food, adding lemon. I would like to add a lemon. I would like to add some salt where I'm adding in my plate. So I can do customization at the DSV level. So this is my plate. I can eat. This is my, my friend is from Africa or is maybe from, Singapore. He's having own food. So I will, and you will, I will, everybody is going to get the food from where? Buffet. Buffet is your data warehousing. So what all we can do with the data warehouse? You have the data, but all the data you are not going to be eating it. You have a plate. The plate is called a DSV, data source view. You can filter the items. I need only this, I need only this, and I can also do customization. What I do, I take some, food item, I'm adding a lemon to that. So where I'm adding to my this. So you can have the customization. If you're adding some lemon here, it is not going to affect your data warehouse. Data warehouse is somewhere else. Clear? So tomorrow I would like to customize something. Where I can customize, the customization of the data also can be done with the help of a DSV. So one buffet can have a lot of DSVs. This is a Singapore food. This is Indian food. You may have one more, my friend is from America, continental food is going to be having. So you can have whatever you would like to have it, you can have it. So that is the beauty of DSV. Are you with me? We can do customization, filter of the tables, you can get it. Not all tables, whatever the data that you need, that you can get it. So using this, you're going to be creating a cube. So one cube I can create here, one more cube I can create here. So one project can have multiple cubes. So one cube is a sales cube, one more cube is a HR cube. Clear? So what is a DSV? DSV is a plate. You assume like that. In DSV, we can filter the tables, we can customize the tables, but it is not going to affect the data warehouse. Clear? So that is what you need to understand. So what is the advantage of a DSV? Clear? I have created only one DSV, but you can go in for one more DSV and you can take. I don't have a lot of other data, but you can go in for this time. I get, HR data, tables and the facts. The next time again, I'll create one more DSV. That time I can get the expenses data. Next time I will get inventory data. You'll have a lot of warehouses all over the world. Okay, so the Amazon company wanted to maintain a lot of warehouse, right? So where the products are available, so warehouse, what is the the products received to the warehouse, and what is the stock available in the each and every godown. So that data is also available. So for that I'm going to be creating one more DSV. Clear? So that is what we have to do it. And tomorrow when we come, we are going to create a cube. Clear? So now, did you understand what is the data warehousing and what is a DSV? And cube is going to be having data source. So data source means a connection to the data warehouse. Clear? So DSV, where you're going to be having the tables, which tables you would like to have it, and where you need to have customization, everything. We'll see it tomorrow. Clear? So this is what is your DSV. When you double click on it, so we have taken, this is a DSV. This is one table on my plate. This is one more table. This is one more table. This is one more table. All the DSVs connected here. All the DSVs are connected here. Tomorrow we'll create a cube. That's it. Okay, right click on this. Creating a cube is only 2 minute job. If you want me to create, let me also create. It will take only 2 minutes. Okay, the next step, data source view, and we can do lot of things here. Okay, so I would like to do these things, then we can create a cube. So building a cube will take only 2 minutes and it will not take any time. So create a data source, create a data source view, and do the customizations. Customization will do tomorrow in the data source view level. Then we create a cube. That's it. After that we process, we do lot of other data analytics options, operations there. Clear, guys? So thank you so much. Any other questions? You're welcome.